What's up, Nerd Crew? Nurdie J here, along with
Ben.
And today we are going to be watching Transformers: Rise of the Beast, which is the 7th live-action movie for the Transformers franchise. So we thought we'd give our thoughts of what we're hopefully going to expect, what are our fears, and go see the movie and then do a review. Anything you want to add?
And this one's special. We went out of town for it.
We're kind of forced out of town, actually,
much, yeah.
since we don't have a theater anymore, so... but essentially...
Blame him.
Blame me. Yeah, I'm the one that just decided to Godzilla the place. But
Yeah, you could have thought...
with the old-fashioned Dragon Zord sound, too.
And a little hole. You can see the little pipe as a flamethrower sound effect.
So,
Anyway, back to review.
Now, Ben, I got a question for you. Have you seen anything dealing with previews or anything with this?
I've seen a lot of clips of RC.
Okay.
It looks kind of cool.
Okay.
But I hope they don't make her kind of jazzed like in Michael Bay movies.
Oh, where she just dies instantly?
Well, not that way. More like, look at me, I'm super suave and super cool,
yeah.
and I want her more down to earth.
Yeah.
I don't mind her having a little bit of it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But
I have to portray her like Transformers Prime's RC.
Okay.
Where she's more of a warrior than, oh look, there's a human, gotta take care of it, like in G1.
Now I know almost nothing about it. Okay, guys. He knows a lot about this type of stuff. So,
yeah.
Because he's the big you've seen his reviews and stuff like that. He knows a lot about more than I do.
Yeah. So coming as somebody that doesn't know the franchise as much, what are your thoughts about just this movie of what you're seeing currently?
I hope it's better than the Michael Bay movies.
All right. Anything
you like the Michael Bay movies? I just hope they're better than.
Yeah.
I don't like them.
Yeah.
I didn't like them.
There's a hot mess, but I feel like most of the Michael Bay movies were hot garbage.
Right.
It's worse than a mess.
The Michael Bay movies, I feel like they should have stopped at 1.
Yeah, that's how I was. 1, we got your point. That's all we needed.
Yeah. 1 or 2.
And move on to a different, a reboot or something at that point. But
he kind of pushed it a little too further down the road.
Oh, yeah, especially with number 2. Just coming in from the Michael Bay movies, you're hoping that something's better. Anything specific that you're looking for from what you've seen in the previews and stuff?
Just a good time, pretty much.
Just a good time? Me, I'm looking for if it makes sense. Because from what I've understand from watching other reviewers and stuff, not about I've been trying to stay away from the reviews themselves, but from other Transformer toy reviewers that are also into this, I've heard that they went through 11 to 12 different editing teams, and each time that they transfer over, they're just like, good luck, this is a hot mess. What was the director doing?
Well, I think it's just because they didn't want to touch it because Michael Bay just ruined it.
Well, you also got to think this is also coming from Bumblebee, one of the best live-action movies.
Yeah.
If you ask me, it should have just ended after the first 5 minutes. But
a lot of companies do that though. They're like, oh, we got one movie and everybody likes it. Do not mess it up.
Yeah.
Don't mess it up at all, or we'll fire your butt.
Me personally, I'm worried about the Maximals. I'm a huge Beast Wars fan, and I'm just worried because none of the voice actors are from Beast Wars. They asked about the Beast Wars cast, the original ones, and they're all like, nope, because of what happened with Michael Bay. And also says they're like, well, we don't want to pay for you anyway because you guys are union. Because Hasbro and just mainly Hasbro doesn't want to pay for union.
A lot of companies nowadays, they're like, oh, if you're on the union, we don't want to hire you.
Yeah, so...
That's how the chicken crossed the road.
Sorry about that. I thought that the camera had stopped because it's saying on the screen pause, and I thought it was pausing, but it has the little blinking red dot, so...
In other words, technical difficulties.
Yeah, so it was more of a mental difficulty for me. So essentially, the thing is that I'm worried about the Beast Wars mainly. I hope they give enough time for Airraiser, because what I'm also hearing is that she's supposed to branch between the be the liaison between the Maximals and the Autobots. I'm also heard in the preview, like the preview itself, the Maximals are from a different planet than the Transformers.
Right.
They're both from Cybertron, just from different eras. So I'm just trying to figure out how they're doing that. What's going on with like the Terrorcons? Are they Unicron's heralds? And also, what's going on with Unicron? Because from the because I feel like that's just adding way too much. You already have the Maximals, you have the Autobots, and you have the Terrorcons. That's a movie onto its own. Now you're including Unicron, and the big producer type guy is saying that it somehow still branches Bumblebee to the Michael Bay movies. But if that's the case, this takes place in 1994.
Right.
How is Unicron going to infiltrate Earth and no one notices?
I don't know. That's called movie logic.
Yeah, because in The Last Night, Unicron starts appearing as Earth. He starts coming out of the Earth, and so it's like, how's this fitting? Is it going to fit? Is it a teetotal reboot like how Bumblebee is? Even though if you take away the last 5 minutes or so, like when Bumblebee's driving on the bridge, that should have been where the movie ended. That would have been a great ending for a movie, but then you include the extra, and it's just like, nope, for me at least. Even though I don't like Michael Bay, I kind of want to know about Bumblebee's story.
Well, I'm personally just hoping the movie's good. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying. I'm hoping Megatron's in it, because that's my favorite Decepticon. And I hope that the guy who plays Jazz now doesn't mess it up.
Yeah. Well, it's not Jazz. Even though he turns into a Porsche, it's Mirage. So,
I call it Jazz because he acts like Jazz.
Yeah,
from,
he acts like
movie.
Jazz. He looks like a young Jazz. He's a Porsche like Jazz. Even though he's the wrong kind of Porsche, but he's still a Porsche nonetheless.
Right.
I'm like, you could have just called him Jazz. And if you couldn't use Jazz, call him Meister. Because that's the Japanese name for Jazz, and for a while, Jazz was called Meister during, like, alternators and stuff, so. But anyway, any final thoughts before we go see the movie?
Not really, just hoping it's really good.
I'm hoping that it's enjoyable, watchable, and understandable. So, with that, we'll go watch the movie, and then we'll be back with our thoughts.
And reaction, pretty much, yeah.
Till then. And we're back. So, we, as I mentioned earlier, we did go and see the movie. Any thoughts?
I liked it. I'm not gonna lie, it was not my kind of movie. It was good action movie, but it was more for him because he's more of a
I'm the Transformer
fan than I am. So what about you?
Well, this is going to be quickly into spoiler territory because I have big opinions on this. And so, sorry if you were looking for a non-spoiler video, but we're going to post it on the thing saying that it is going to be spoilers. So, first off, I mentally cheered when Bumblebee died. I was super happy because I was just tired of Bumblebee being everywhere. It's like, yeah, that's nice that, if you're a fan of Transformers, that's good. But yeah, there's more than two characters, Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. So when I saw Bumblebee die, well, I guess he didn't, but he was put out of commission for most of the movie.
Taken out, yeah.
Yeah, that I was like, finally, we can move on. Maybe, then I kind of was like, oh, wait, maybe Mirage is going to be the next Bumblebee. That's another thing. Mirage.
He was just Jazz.
Yeah, he was Jazz. There was no
Michael
difference.
Bay,
His characterization was Jazz. And I'm not talking about Michael Bay Jazz. I'm talking about, like, if you were to modernize the 80s Jazz. That's how I saw him. Is like, he's Jazz. The only homage to the actual Mirage character was when he quickly, for, like, all of, a couple of seconds, turned into a Formula One car. But his characterization was not Mirage. So
he hit the voice actor was really good though.
Yeah, the voice acting was good. The characterizations, that is a hallmark issue with me with the Michael Bay movies in general. And this is not supposed to be a Michael Bay movie, but at the same time, it felt like an adjacent version of that to me.
Kind of like how you have your Coke and then you have your off-brand Coke, where they try to get as close as they possibly could without making it the same thing. That's what they literally did with this movie.
Yeah. Honestly, they did my absolute favorite Transformer dirty. Honestly, it was just like, I just wanted to storm out of that movie. So what happened was Airazor gets infected with some sort of virus by Scourge.
Right.
And she was starting to go insane a little bit. Not like insane, it was more like she was trying to stay in control, but yet Scourge, but Scourge was taking over her. And like, okay, fine, maybe I was in hopes that since she's my favorite Transformer, that somehow they write her into maybe like getting a stronger version of herself or something. It was all she was pretty much just the messenger. And once that messenger job type thing got done, they killed her.
Well, to me, they made her more like a dragon. Like, all she did is, I'm going to breathe fire everything.
Yeah, that was kind of annoying. The Maximals, being a Beast Wars fan, I think they didn't do a very good job with the Maximals either. Like, they just, like, it felt like more like a mandate by Hasbro. To like, oh, you know what's popular again thanks to Kingdom? Beast Wars. You gotta have Beast Warriors in your next movie.
Well, to me, the thing is, they did the core, and that was it. The core of the series.
Well, you didn't even have the likes of Rat Trap.
Well, not like all I'm trying to say is the core, like, oh, you remember Optimus Primal, you remember Rhinox, you remember Cheetor, you remember Airazor, and they just went that and that's it, you know?
Yeah, it's like. And like, I don't know, it's like, I was also ticked that Airazor, yes, is the only female Maximal in the cartoon series, but...
There's a lot more females in this series, too.
Yeah, it's like, they just didn't do her right by any means.
Like, they did RC. RC, thank God, wasn't a mother figure.
What about Wheeljack? That was going to be a big issue for everyone. How'd you feel about it?
I don't know.
Like, they try to play it off as...
Yeah, they try to switch it around with the Michael Bay ones.
Where, like, they try to play it off with the same joke, kind of why didn't Hot Rod get rid of his French accent? And why does a Wheeljack have a Peruvian accent? They're both like, what accent?
Yeah, and Wheeljack was just there for, like... quarter of the movie and then that was it.
Yeah, he just was more like a tour guide or something like that kind of feeling. He wasn't Wheeljack by any means. He was Wheeljack in name only.
And then they had the plane.
Yeah, the Stratosphere.
Yeah, and he had a Scottish or Irish.
Yeah, some kind of
And they showed at the end of the movie, like I said, spoilers. In the movie, they showed that he is coming into battle. He was nowhere to be seen.
It's like, hey, I'm coming back into battle, and he just drops off Bumblebee and he just disappears. I revived Bumblebee, mind ya. They included Scorponok into the movie. But,
a bunch of them,
yeah. A bunch of Scorponok, but none of them were Predacon, even though, for some reason, Hasbro is marketing Scorponok as a Predacon.
Yeah, they had a lot of those, like, skeletal, like, robot assassin thingies.
Yeah, Freezer never got a name. He's that little four-armed robot dude that is like a pet to Scourge. Yeah, didn't even get a name. At least Frenzy had a name in the Michael Bay movie.
They were bad at their jobs.
Yeah, to me it was just a mess.
They did Surge like superhuman, powerful, ultimate general of the main bad guy. He's like able to almost rip everybody apart, not take any damage to anything till the last possible second.
Yeah. Also, Optimus Prime, they're trying to build him up as like not a fallen soldier, but like a soldier that's lost his way. And, and since this is supposed to be a reboot, we only know Optimus Prime from Bumblebee. We don't know most of the history with this character, except for that he was on Earth for 7 years prior to this movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're trying to be like, oh, he just lost his way, and then it's like, that's why he's like out for blood, because he's a failure. And that's where I have the issue.
And then, they did mention the Bumblebee movie for like a split second. Yeah. And, they mentioned, oh, you're not going to go back to that drive-thru ever again. Now that...
Yeah, honestly, I could have done without the clear audio bits. I would have preferred it to sound like it was constantly changing the channel to talk. But honestly, I guess that's a minor nitpick in reality. It's definitely like one of those movies that if you're a true Beast Wars fan, they're going to do you dirty. There's no honor in there for the Maximal fans. It's pretty much, you got to be there for, if you love Optimus Prime, love Bumblebee.
And also for me, who's mostly on the Decepticon side, there's none. No Decepticon, no Megatron, no Soundwave, nobody. I thought that'd be maybe at the end they'll be like, oh, they're gonna come around now and stuff. Nope, they're just not even invited to the damn party.
So in all honesty, my opinion, even it's like I have two different scores for this. Me.
Hold on. There's one little extra thing they talked about in the movie, in the middle of the credits.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Thank you. So at the end, I was dreading when the main character, I haven't had time to study the character's name.
Yeah, he was just a blimp on the radar.
Yeah, it's like, yes, he was focused on and it took forever for the Transformers to get to the screen, also was another drama. But at the end, I was dreading that they were going to introduce Sector 7. As, like, this is how they initiate Sector 7 in the movies. Because, yes, I know this is a reboot, but yet, at the same time, the director, I've heard, is a big Michael Bay fan. The producer, I don't know what the heck he's smoking half the time, because he's trying to please everybody while delivering nothing.
Yeah, at the beginning of the movie, he's like, well, I really loved doing this video. I hope you love the robots. Everything beautiful. He said like beautiful like 5 different times.
Yeah, the director. And I'm like, do you even know your franchise? They're aliens first and foremost. We only call them robots because they're mechanical aliens. Do you even know the franchise? I know. So going back to what you were prodding me to, was the so essentially I was dreading that they were going to introduce Sector 7. I'm like, Sector 7 would definitely be the nail in the coffin for this movie for me.
Mm-hmm.
No, they switch it up. G.I. Joe?
Either they're going for a G.I. Joe crossover, or they're going for another G.I. Joe movie.
From what I'm understanding, it's going to be a crossover. I just didn't think that they were literally going to put it in print. I just only knew about it as a thought kind of thing. Behind the scenes kind of thought. I did not know that they were literally going to show the G.I. Joe badge. And so,
because Hasbro owns both of them, by the way.
Right. They're both Hasbro companies, big Hasbro franchises.
G.I. Joe, not as much, but as Transformers, because...
Yeah, well, there's only so much you can do with G.I. Joe nowadays, because everybody would think of it as bad taste.
Well, anyway, what's your favorite scene in the movie?
Favorite scene? I guess.
Or favorite part, anyway.
I guess is when all the Maximals and Autobots are together. That first scene in the jungle in Peru.
Okay.
That would be the first good scene, I would say, in that movie. What about you?
My scene is when Mirage. That's gonna say Jazz because, like I said, he sounds like.
He looks like Jazz. He's instead of white, he's silver.
Mirage. When he is transforming, it showed the inside of what it looks like. How the transformed with a person inside of it.
Oh, when he rotated.
Yeah.
But they did that with Bumblebee. Remember? He was on the highway fighting the Dread.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I can't remember if it was like Age of Extinction, Dark of the Moon, or something like that. And he transformed and catch Sam again.
But when Mirage did it, they slowed it down to make it look really cool.
Oh, I just love that. Yeah, that was another good scene. Honestly, there's a lot of good scenes. It's more that, if you're coming in as a Beast Wars fan like I am, and you like G1, well, you're not getting any of that. It really just feels like we're just making it big.
Oh, and at the end, like we said earlier, spoiler warnings. So if you want to watch if you don't want to hear our we
already been through so many spoilers. If you
want to hear spoilers, just read the comments at the bottom. If you want to hear spoilers, just watch the rest of the video.
Yeah.
The main character, the male, gets a ectosuit.
Yep.
And it looks so much like a Mega Man X mobile armor kind of thing.
Just if it was made out of car.
I was like, God dang, that would be a good movie.
Or at least a good visual.
Because it was literally Mega Man-esque. Like, the laser blast looked like it, the emblem on his head looked like it, a lot of that stuff. And I was like, God, I wish I was watching a Mega Man movie too. But
so getting back on track, so we could wrap things up a little bit. Worst scene in the movie for you?
Worst scene in the movie was the I did not like Surge.
Scourge?
Yeah, Scourge. Sorry, not Surge.
Surge.
Surge is a soda.
Oh, else is a Pokemon gym leader.
I did not like Scourge. I thought, don't get me wrong, I didn't think he was bad, like terrible, nasty, or anything.
Mm-hmm.
He's just too, look at me, I'm the Superman villain.
Yeah, it was like the Zod. Yeah.
I'm like, show that he got beaten up a little bit, or, something like that. And
that he's actually taking damage until the last possible minute.
And then, like JD said earlier, just instantly took out one Autobot and one Maximal like it was absolutely nothing.
Mm.
And I'm not talking about the beginning of the movie, I'm talking about when he was fighting on the cliffside at Peru.
Right. So, for my scene that I hate, I'd have to say
it's going to be a shocker.
Yeah, it's Primal giving Airazor a bear hug of death.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, it's like, yeah, she was like, do it, kill me, you remember our promise and stuff. At the same time, give her a robot mode before she dies.
Yeah, let her, even if she is corrupt,
Yeah, have her corrupt fighting Optimus Primal. They did do that, but she was in beast mode the entire time.
Yeah.
And it's like, Primal eventually gets a robot mode after that, but it's just like, just have her transform, even though, it's not going to be, mind-blowing or anything, but I would love to see what Airazor is supposed to look like as a robot. Because Rhinox, you barely got to see a glimpse of his robot mode once he finally transforms. Same as Cheetor for the most part.
Yeah, it's like when they did the Maximals kind of dirty way too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at the final battle, okay, we're going to transform in robot form. And then the camera just swings like crazy and you can't barely see him.
Right.
Like, you get a split second of Cheetor, like a very split second, when he throws the spear. And you get a split second of Optimus Primal and Rhinox when they finally took out one of the generals. But then also, when Bumblebee came around, everybody just disappeared, pretty much.
So, final thoughts?
Before final thoughts, by the way. What was funny is that they gave us, Spider-Man
across the universe.
The Spider-Verse.
Yeah, Spider-Verse.
Cup, because they're the only thing now that's collectible there.
Well, they did have the Little Mermaid.
Yeah, the Little Mermaid. I wanted a Little Mermaid, but no.
So, I'm gonna give my final thoughts, because honestly, we forgot to mention,
porn all over.
Yeah, the lid does not stay good on those cups. So, final thought is we really liked the theater we were in. It was air conditioned nicely.
The seats were comfortable, dude.
Comfortable, reclining. The snacks were easy, affordable for the most part.
Yeah, it had like wings you can eat there.
They had actual food too. And found out that they were actually just a chain in Nebraska.
Right.
So we went to a place called the Golden Ticket Cinemas. It's right over here. So.
And the Hilltop 4 Mall.
Right, in Kearney, Nebraska. Highly recommend it. The staff is super friendly, at least when we went. This is the first time going. They were super friendly. They wanted to converse with us, see what our thoughts on the movie was. Yeah. And essentially, they made us welcome. It's very unusual nowadays to find a theater that makes you feel welcome.
And how much ticket was it? $8?
Yeah, the tickets were about $8 each. With tax, it came close to $20.
That's not a bad deal for that type of comfortable.
Right, especially for that kind of comfortable. We do recommend Tuesdays, though. Tuesdays they have
$5.50 movies.
Mm-hmm. And they're your regular movies. So let's say you want to watch Spider-Man Across the Universe. It's out now, or Transformers. Mm-hmm. You go on a Tuesday, it's $5.50 for a ticket.
And when I was in there, I noticed they do some type of summertime movie, where they have.
Yeah, they do have summertime events.
But I wasn't staring at it long enough to actually read the whole thing.
It's on specific days. It's only like $1 or $2 for a movie ticket, and they're showing things like the one that I can remember is Land Before Time.
I saw the Minions Grew.
So, they do have like the older movies that they're trying to come out for affordable pricing, so you don't have to buy a DVD and then you watch it and then you're like, oh, what do I do with this now?
Right.
So, final, you want to do grades finally?
Do you want me to go or do you want me to go first?
Honor's all mine. Go ahead.
My points and then the grade. I got a few little points. I would recommend seeing the movie if you're into Michael Bay movies, even though I'm not, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's Michael Bay adjacent.
I personally would not recommend going to the theaters to see it, and it's not because it's a bad movie. It's because it's not my kind of movie. So if you don't like Transformers, you don't like those kind of short action bursts of actions all the time. Mm-hmm. It's probably better to save your $8 for Little Mermaid or whatever you guys watch. Spider-Man,
yeah.
So my rank would be 3.5 out of 5.
For me, I have two different ones. If you're coming in as a casual fan of the Transformers, like because you watch Michael Bay,
kind of thing.
Right? It's a great popcorn flick. Honestly, we did eat the whole entire bucket of popcorn. Mm-hmm. It was that kind of movie. And the thing is that we
actually got there a little early. So that's why we snapped nothing.
Yeah, we did get there a little early, unbeknownst to us. But
thing
is that if you're going in there, I do not rate it as high as like even the Transformer fans do, and I don't get why they're hyping it up so high. So essentially, the thing is that I rate this about maybe a 3. Like it's a good blockbuster.
But we'd rate the movie theater a 5 out of 5.
Oh yeah, the movie theater.
That was a good movie.
I call it like a 10 all day type situation.
Clean, everybody was nice.
Yeah, friendly.
Free refills if you get large drinks and stuff.
Right. So if you get large drinks and a large drink and a large popcorn, you get free refills.
It's a little expensive. Don't get us wrong, but
it's well worth it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, for going into it as a Beast Wars fan, -2. Honestly,
I wouldn't give it a -2. I'd probably give it a 1. Because it did its justice,
They did everybody bad though. For Beast Wars, not Transformers fan. I'm going as Beast Wars only.
Well, I'm not saying justice you did good, but justice they gave you Beast Wars.
No, they gave us more of a Beast Machines vibe than Beast Wars.
So that's just me because I'm not a huge.
Right. So for Beast Wars fans, -2. They don't give you the organic beast. They give you techno organic. So it would be more like a Transmetals 2 or a Beast Machines vibe. If they were to make it a live action.
Right.
if you're just a general Transformers fan, I rate it about 2.5. It's one of the better ones. It's not like Michael Bay's second offering that you got, but it's not nowhere near Bumblebee.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. It's more Transformer than Beast Wars.
But it did take them forever to get to the Transformers.
But they started with Beast Wars.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they just like, oh, nope, now we're going to do this instead, you know.
Right. So, anything else?
No. Just wait for our next videos coming out.
Yeah, hopefully it'll come out sometime next, sometime next month I'll be coming out with another video for you guys. So, with that all being said, I've been Nurdie J.
I've been Ben.
And we're the Nurdie Boyz. We'll catch you next time.